Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Here today is Monday, July 28th, and we got a great week of fun and lunchtime fun. And I hope you guys are I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you're having a great day or great morning so far. But thank you for joining us here in the living room. And as we are building the new studio, which is going to be downstairs now. We are here in the living room for another week or so. So check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, the men and women in the military, and, of course, our veterans. Thank you for fighting for our country. We really do appreciate everything you did for us, the veterans. It's showtime today. Let's have some fun. What else can you say? Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. Boy, hope you guys had a great weekend. Yeah, so much to talk about today. Some stuff and stories, what's going on in this crazy world. And, when you can always tune in on the show, you're always going to hear about something. Something you guys are going to like to talk about. Some guys I'm sick of talking about. Some things that you don't like that we talk about. But we're going to have a little fun anyway and try to make your hour of a little more... I don't know, especially if you have one of those bad days, sometimes you can come in, tune in, and have a little love. So let's get right down to some business. Business. With our good is the place. Buy local, shop local. That's right, 25% items under $50 or $12.50 off every regular priced item over $50. Save up to $230 on Tangier wooden pellet grills. And that's for your grills, folks. And when you're talking about grills, don't forget to tell them to grill your ace off. They're your grilling destination. Carrying Weber, Tangier, Napoleon, Charlebolt grills, large variety of models and displays. Let one of their certified team members help you find that right grill. And looking to spice up that food on the grill? Check out our spices, rubs, sauces. Add flavor to your barbecue feast. Trending now is the TikTok Meat Church, Tangier, and Danny O's. They have them all. That's right. Tell them to grill your ace off at Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Our good friends from Ace. All right. So what are we talking about today? So much to talk about and so much that I have to thank everybody. First of all, I want to thank Raul Donner Jr., who will be the guest on Friday. His father, of course, Raul Donner, had some great hits in the 50s and 60s. And just a great guy. Great guy. It was a great conversation. You make sure you check out his solo stuff. We do appreciate it. And I want to thank you all for the people who showed up Friday early evening to Peter Anthony's salon in Schaumburg for my wife's Braverly Health Products open house, as they would say. It was not great turnout. We want to thank everybody. Shelly Valenti, thank you so much. And Jim, Kathy Swisek, and Denise Deanna for sticking around towards the end of the evening. And Carlo Joseph for spinning the tracks. And it was a great event. And she's already getting calls. When is the next event? So Laura is working on that right now. We're talking right now with Carl Doty for the St. Jude's benefit that Carl does in Melrose Park. And I think as we find out, Laura's going to have her own booth there. Showing you all about Braverly products. So it's going to be a massive crowd there, like it always is, coming up in September. So Laurel's going to have her booth there, and we'll talk more about Braverly. And that was early part of Friday, which I got to perform at. And then Friday night was a great turnout. Again, thank you, Jerry Jams, for that. Michelle Melchiotti and your friend Christy, congratulations on your retirement. It was a nice little turnout for Friday night. And Saturday, wow. What can I say about Saturday night when you're talking about a beautiful night, suburbs of Chicago? We're talking about great food. You're talking about Taverna on Division in Melrose Park. Now, we haven't been there since December of last year. So it was fantastic with the main event band. Jerry Jams was on fire, and the great Mikey T back on keyboards and background vocals. And it was just great seeing everybody there. Carl Doty, I want to thank Gina. I want to thank Carol. I want to thank Amy, all the way from Shaney, all the way in from Texas. Tony Lulo, all the way in from Florida. And Dominic Longo, the general, of course, Billy Campanelli and all the guys. Mayor Skippy Saviano. Cliff Corab, former Chicago Blackhawk, was there. So it was a great night. Danny and Dina don't know Zach, thank you. And it was just a wonderful night of everybody coming out and supporting Taverna on Division. What a beautiful night it was. And boy, the dancing started from the minute we hit to the end. And even Jerry played an extra half hour. So it was a great event. Thank you, everybody, for making a great weekend. Now, we got a busy week coming up, very busy, and a lot of different things. Now, for instance, tomorrow is a Tuesday, and usually I'm off. But no, my buddy Frankie Setta will be celebrating his 40th birthday, and they're having a big bash at Chicago Prime Steakhouse from 5:30 to 9. Frankie will be performing, but I'll be doing 1 hour. I'll probably be coming in doing something around maybe 8 to 9. Something like that, or 7:30 to 8:30, something like that. But we'll be there tomorrow night to celebrate Frankie Setta's birthday. Wednesday, we'll be at Rosario's in Roselle with Double T. Thursday, Ocean's Rat Pack outside at the Darien Concert in the Park. Outside concert, free. Come out and see the tribute to Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. Friday, returning back to Chicago Prime Saturday. And Saturday, we'll be at the Vixen Theater in McHenry, Illinois. That's an 8 o'clock show, so we're excited about that. 7:30 show, excuse me, at the Vixen in McHenry. And then Saturday, for all you rock and rollers that love Cheap Trick, Moe's Dream Police, that's right, the Dream Police, will be performing live at Tribute Island in Kenosha, Wisconsin, on the Island stage. If you've never been to Tribute Island, folks, it's got 4 or 5 stages. And it's got all tribute acts on one stage. So you got like Boston, Zeppelin, Beatles, Heart, Kiss, Cheap Trick. So it's just a great afternoon of fun. And we're on the Island stage. I think, I forgot what time we start, but we'll post that tomorrow. But that's going to be Saturday. That's Sunday on August 3rd. The Dream Police. Mark Shealy on bass, Billy Hall on guitar, Nick the Piano Man, Bam Bam Burke on drums. Yours truly on vocals. It's going to be a lot of fun for the Dream Police. So a lot of good stuff coming up this week. Let's see who's watching on the Buddy. I have 3 seats left Tuesday night. Anyone want to join me? All right, Buddy. So Buddy's opening it out there. He's got 3 seats left. Chicago Prime Steakhouse for Frankie Setta's birthday. You want to sit with Buddy, contact Buddy. Jeanette, Erica, how are you doing? Look forward to seeing you. Joanne, long time no see. Gina and Carol, great seeing you guys. And Carl Doty on Saturday. Marion, can you send me a flyer? Wasn't able to make trip. I don't know what flyer you need, Marion. Let me know. Yeah, Ryan, Yankees win. That was fun. We're going to talk about that just in a second about Renfest. Just want to say hello to everybody. Patrice, hope you're doing well. Maga, good afternoon. Carol Minotti, Albert in the house. Larry, Kathy, my apology if you're upset with my request. I saw you among my suggestion of friends, your profile, a little beautiful guy. Why I decided to say hi. I hope you don't mind me asking. Larry, Steven, I hope you're doing well, brother. I don't even see this there. Dick Sayed. Dick, if you're around, and anybody else that's interested, folks, Almost Home Foundation for Dogs, looking for some gift certificates, whatever you guys can give to donate for the dogs. We do really appreciate it. We'll pick them up at any of the Tony Ocean shows. Michael, how are you doing, buddy? Michelle, how are you doing today? All right, so let me tell you about Sunday. Once a year, me and my sister, besides family parties, try to do something that we both enjoy. Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Wisconsin. I've been going there for years, even before I went with my sister. So when me and my sister used to go, if you know, Renaissance Fair, you dress up like the old King Arthur days, and they got turkey legs, and they got food, and they got jousting, and they got the queen. They got everybody dressed up in costumes. And I went with my steampunk outfit, and my sister does her wench. She's like a wench, dresses up with the Spock ears. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. We've been going for years. And when you go there, first time we went years ago, me and my sister, we had too many of these drinks called Robin Hood. Ooh, I don't know what's in it, but it's strong. So I remember this was years ago. We were drinking, and then because the place is huge. It's got to be, I don't know how many thousands of people are there. It runs, I think, through 4th of July through Labor Day. And it's just packed with people, and it's really cool. It's a great afternoon. Couple things, though. So I remember we went years ago for the first time, and if you heard the story already, this is maybe for some new people that are just tuning in. We drank a little too much that day, and we couldn't find our car. I mean, you know. So my sister came up with an idea. She goes, from now on, she goes, I'll pay for the limo. You pay for the tickets, the drinks, and the food. Perfect deal. 9 a.m. Limo was right on time yesterday. Dropped us off right in the gates, right in the front, so you don't have to walk. Limo dropped us off. Me and my sister got out, walked in. They opened the castle doors, you know, whatever it is. Everybody goes in, and they're having a great time. And what do? Right away, we go get a little something quick to eat, and we go right for the Robin Hood. It was hot. It was hot. Chris Picaro, my good buddy from Rosario's, will see you this Wednesday, 7:30 with Double T Tony Toto. So, in Roselle. Anyway, so the day is the morning. Remember, we got there at 9. So we already had 2 Robin Hoods in our system already. I think I had like a chicken sandwich or something. I forgot what. A pulled pork sandwich, which I usually don't eat. But I had one anyway, whatever it was, just to put something in my stomach because I didn't have any breakfast. So we had the 2 drinks. I'm smoking a cigar. I'm smoking my pipe with Black Cavendish tobacco. Okay, and my sister. So we finally get to a spot where our buddy George Tark used to have a cigar shop, a cigar booth. And for years, George was the only vendor at Renaissance Fair to sell cigars. So we'd all go see George, make a day of it. Well, George died about 4 or 5 years ago. So a tradition that we have, we meet at that same spot with the 3 or 4 other guys. We don't know them that well, but we just know them from being there when we met George. So we're sitting there in the smoking section, telling stories, telling jokes, having our drinks. And all of a sudden, I look over at my sister. And my sister, ladies and gentlemen, was like this. First, I thought maybe she was trying to, you know, maybe her neck or something. She was out. She was out. So I pick up my sister. I'm slapping her. Her eyes are rolling in the back of her. I didn't know what was going on. I was freaking out, of course. Lady next door called 911. Sitting next door, she was dressed up, called 911. Paramedics came, boom, 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 boom. So we got her up a little bit. The other guy, Rob, had some water. He put some of that Crystal Light in there because I think she was hydrated for not eating anything, smoking a Robin Juliet Cuban, and two Robin Hoods. This is my sister. So we got her. She was talking a little bit. She was up. They bought her. The little cart came, got her, bought her to the room where there's air conditioning. They put her in there. They checked her, make sure. Time I went with the other paramedic, and we went there to make sure she was okay. Asked her, you know, how many fingers and all that. Obviously, it was heat exhaustion and hydration from, like I said, she had nothing. She had some artichokes, but very little to eat. And the 2 Robin Hoods and the Cuban Roman Juliet cigar. So it probably just got her, and that heat boiling down. I thought, I didn't know. I don't know what was going on with my sister. The first time I've ever seen this happen. I mean, for me, I've never seen it happen before in my life. And this is the first time. So thank God it was all right. Paramedics said, "Do you need to go to the hospital?" She said, "No." We enjoyed the rest of the day. We tried to walk near the shade. She laid off on the drinks completely. I still had my Robin Hoods, just to keep the tradition going. I didn't want to, only thing bad was I was drinking alone. So that wasn't good. But yeah, heat stroke. It was bad. But thank God the paramedics, and I'm talking about, there might have been 5, 6 guys came right over there. They were right on top of things. So kudos for the Bristol Renaissance Fair and their first aid guys, their paramedics, their health people. They came in and really, really did an incredible job. And even the other people around, one that called 911, one that helped with the water. I mean, it was just a great thing. And thank God everything was okay. Yes, thank you. It was a little scary there. But we still enjoyed the rest of the day. And we had the limo from 9 to 3. They picked us up at 3, brought us home. Then she came, sat in the house for a little bit. Checked on her last night. She was great. Talked to her this morning. She was good. And she got to talk to her doctor. But I think, that's what it was. Heat is very bad. Heat stroke. And, man, I've never seen anybody go through that. I've never been through that. I was sweating my ass off, too. But I don't know. Maybe my insides are just, maybe there's so much booze in it. It's just so used to it. Who knows? But thank God everything worked out. So it was very good. I'm glad she's okay, too. Thank you, Francine. I hope you're doing well. So that was Renaissance Fair on Sunday. Interesting day that it was. And it could have turned out really bad, but it turned out very, very great. And she's doing great. So thank God that kind of stuff. Whew. Pretty scary stuff, folks. You're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Let's see here. O'Hare Airport this past weekend. Now, you go to the airport, you see a lot of people. You ever wonder how many people they have that the airport actually sees on a daily basis? I mean, I didn't even look at the regular, but they broke their record this past weekend, folks. O'Hare Airport broke their record for the busiest day they've ever had in record history. People through O'Hare this past weekend, 1,150. Excuse me. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, 160,962 people at the airport were flying out of O'Hare, the busiest they've ever had, according to what came up on social media. That is a lot of people. Michael Pappas, great seeing you on Friday. Thank you, Michael. Thank God she's great. Pina, yes, thank God. Whew. But how many? I mean, that's how many people at O'Hare Airport. Is that crazy or what? Yeah, it's always busy, but you never wonder how many people actually fly out of that airport. Better her drink some of that stuff Laura sells. Yes. Jeanette, yeah, she needed a little bravery, a little rush or something. Whatever that drink is. Yes, it's good. Anyway, yeah, so that's people flying. Baseball, Chicago Cubs against the White Sox. First game, the White Sox destroyed the Cubs. Wow. And then, of course, the Cubs come back and beating them the last two. Interesting. The Chicago Cubs are in first place, tied with Milwaukee right now, or maybe Milwaukee went up one. I'm not quite sure, but maybe they're tied. But it's going to look very close race between the Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers, which, remember, last year the Chicago Cubs got the Milwaukee Brewers manager. So whatever they're doing, but Milwaukee still got that energy, that chemistry, because they're still doing great. So we'll have to see what happens. Speaking of baseball and speaking about the Chicago Cubs, Denzel Washington, a great actor, ladies and gentlemen. I love every movie he's ever done. He's a great actor. I guess he's doing a new movie with HBO Max about the story of Ernie Banks, and he's playing Ernie Banks. Denzel Washington. I think that's going to be great. I always liked Ernie Banks, and I think Denzel Washington playing Ernie Banks for this is going to be really cool. I hope it comes out soon, but I know it's going to be on HBO Max. Ken Peterson LeFew, what's up, my dear friend? I hope you're doing well. All right. So, but here's something that's depressing to me. And I know I'm going to get people pissed off or ruffle some feathers. Look, we are in the United States of America. Our flag flies at ball games, at special at federal buildings, whatever it is. I don't care if anybody wants to put other flags at low staff, whatever it is. But when you're doing the national anthem, the only flag that we should be seeing at any sports event or any event is our American national anthem flag. Our flag of the United States should be the only one you see flapping in the wind when you're doing the national anthem. For shame to the New York Mets for doing the national anthem showing the pride flag during the national anthem. I didn't see the regular flag, our flag next to it. No, I just seen that one. That's what they showed. Nothing against the pride thing, but there's not during the national anthem when we're standing up with our hats off and saying, I pledge allegiance or whatever it is, and singing the national anthem. And the TV coverage goes to the pride flag. I got nothing against that, but not when you're doing the national anthem at a ballpark. Michelangelo, how you doing? Jill, what's doing, my friend? It's crazy. Flags, whatever they want to fly, I don't care. Everybody has a right to that. But what they don't have the right to is when you're doing the national anthem and they show it on TV and they show a New York Mets and they show the pride flag waving. That's not right. That's wrong. Someone should lose their job for that. Go right to the owner of the New York Mets and go right to that station that covered that. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. Case closed. Case closed. Don't even need to talk about anything else about that. What else is in the news? Justin Timberlake getting some bad press. Now, when I first seen it on social media, Justin Timberlake not singing during his concerts. Now, I can't tell you this for a fact. I can't. But I can in one way. When I did a couple of shows 15 years ago, whatever it was, when I was the MC for R. Kelly, when he was doing a tribute to Sam Cooke. And we did the Soul Train Music Awards, and they flew me in for that. And I seen their sound check. They're singing over their own voices, but it's singing over himself. So there's another voice there, his own voice, but he's singing over it. Okay. Now, Justin Timberlake was doing this too at concerts. There's no possible way when you're doing those moves and you're doing those steps and you're doing all that and you're moving, and the breath technology, for them to sing without something backing them up. I believe they all do that. The ones that have the dance routines and all that stuff in their shows. The Janet Jacksons, the Lady Gagas, all those other people out there that do that. I'm sure it's their own voices. But what Justin Timberlake did would piss people off is he just put the mic out there, let the audience sing all the songs. Now, usually acts do that. Every act does that, to sing the chorus. When Bryan Adams used to do that, like my first six string, balling at the 5 and dime, and my fingers bled. The band would stop. He'd put the mic out, and the audience would go, was the summer of 69, and then they would get right back into the song. The problem is Justin Timberlake was doing this every song. So for the hour or 90 minutes he was singing, he barely sang the whole night. He just put the mic out there and let the audience sing. Cool to an extent, but they're paid to hear you sing and dance or whatever you do. So a lot of people wanted the money back, and some shows got canceled. So there you go. Right. Mel Lennon Reed, I hope you're doing well. Kathy Eppolito, what's up, my dear? That's one extreme. How about another extreme? You go see your favorite artist. Say you go see Paul McCartney, and he doesn't do, well, yeah, obviously he does Hey Jude. But say you wanted to hear like Blackbird or maybe a song that he doesn't do that was a hit, but he doesn't do it too often in concerts, you know? Well, Paul Simon, formerly of Simon and Garfunkel, um, he has a solo show. And according to this post, usually he doesn't do that song what is it? Chromophone, whatever it is, chroma, whatever it is. Anyway, some guy in the front audience or the front row said, I'll give you $20 to sing Chromophone or whatever the hell it's called. And usually, now he has not sung the song since 2019. So it's 2025. So he goes, I'll give you $20 to sing it. And normally the artist would probably just laugh it off. But no. He took the bribe of 20. He turned to his band and said, we're going to do Chroma Home or Chroma, whatever the name of the song is. Good point, Boyd. How do they do that when they asking me? Because I don't know the lyrics. I have my songs anyway. Jeff Hunt, he's out there with Britt Floyd, somewhere in the Midwest. Hope you're doing well, Jeff. We miss you, pal. All right, so he took the $20 and he played Chrome, whatever the name of the song is. But that's kind of cool. You know who else does that? Bruce Springsteen sometimes. There'll be a time in his show well, usually Bruce Springsteen does 3 hours, and he'll do his regular set. But a lot of times his fans come with, those poster boards, and they name a name of a song. And there'll be a part sometimes, a lot of times Springsteen does, halfway through the show, he goes, all right, and he goes and he picks one of the posters of the song, and he turns to the band, and the band plays it. It's not on the list. So that's pretty cool. Bruce Springsteen does that. But for Paul Simon to do that, it wasn't in the set, and the guy gave him $20. He took the $20 and he did the song. That's pretty cool that he made that guy happy, because it is a big hit for him. But I'm sure he gets sick tired of playing that song. But interesting. All right, folks, you're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Let's talk about my friend Mary Grievous for real estate at its finest. Don't just call me when you're ready to buy or sell. Contact me when you're considering buying or selling. She's your forever agent. Mary Grievous at StarkRE.com, Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate. Available as buyers, sellers, for sale by owners, and expired listings. Give her a call at 630-688-1725 and tell them Tony O sent you. And when you're talking about Mary, you're talking about NTD Vacations. And we're talking about the new Chicago Music Cruise 2026. It's going to happen, folks. That's right. January 17th to January 24th. 7-night Western Caribbean cruise, Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, Ocean Cay, private island owned by World America. It's going to be Tony Ocean, the main event band, and Seventh Heaven, of course, the ringleaders themselves. I hope you guys can join us on this wonderful cruise coming January. Go to Chicago Music Cruise, put in Tony Ocean, or give Mary a call, 630-688-1725, and say, I want to go on the ocean with Ocean. That's going to be a lot of fun. You're watching Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. Tomorrow is Twisted Tuesday with Carol Brandolino, and Wednesday, I'm this close. I'm getting one of the greatest Chicago. Now, there's a lot of them out there, some great drummers. We know Double T, Tommy Burke. We had Greg Potter on for many times. But this one was my favorite. His name was Kenny Hark. And he played with Off-Broadway. He played with Wild Blue, played with a lot of people, worked with Badfinger. He's just an incredible drummer. He also collects a lot of circus posters. Kenny Hark. I think we're going to get him on the show this Wednesday. I'm crossing my fingers that Kenny will be on the show. One of my favorite drummers. And who doesn't remember the great Ken Hark? So hopefully he will be on the show on Wednesday. Excuse me. All right. So There's Mary. How are you doing, Mary? Hope you had a great weekend. Yeah, happy Monday. There you go. Thank you, Michael. The song is called Kodachrome. There you go. I knew it was something with Coda and something with Chrome. I just didn't know whatever it was. Thank you, Michael, for that. Mickey Dolenz, the only surviving member of the Monkees. Now, you remember their TV show, if you don't know the Monkees or whatever. Suppose he's talking with some TV network, whether it's going to be regular TV or cable, I'm not quite sure, to revamping the Monkees. Now, they tried it in the 80s with the new Monkees. It ran maybe a couple shows and then it died. I bought the record. It was okay, but it wasn't the Monkees. But if Mickey Dolenz picks out the 5 guys and puts the new Monkees out there to keep the tradition alive, I'd like to see if it happens. Mickey Dolenz is in works right now talking about bringing the Monkees back to television. Of course, not the original ones because Peter's gone. Peter Tork is gone. Mike Nesmith's gone. Davy Jones is gone. But if they come up with 4 new guys, kick it back, and start touring around doing Monkey songs, which would be really kind of cool. At least to keep the momentum there. You know, who knows? Everyone celebrates the best thing that happened today is you woke up. Dennis, Lake Geneva, great things, buddy. Karen, I hope you're doing well. So it'll be interesting to see. Here's a great quote by the great Harry Truman, former president of the United States. Show me a politician who became rich as being a politician, I'll show you a crook. We all know when you're politicians, it's not a high-paying job, not even the president of the United States. So we know the ones that are crooks. I don't even have to name them. You guys can do your own study, but you know who I think all the crooks are. Very much so. President Trump doesn't even take a salary that goes to the veterans. So Truman tells it like it is. Another entertainer has passed away. We had Ozzy. We had Hulk Hogan. Now, you guys remember the Osmond brothers? Donnie and his brothers. Well, one of the brothers just died this weekend. Wayne Osmond dies at the age of 73 years old. One of the Osmond brothers. They were very big in the 70s, in the 60s. All right. Here's 2 questions. First of all, congratulations to Ron Onesti. Just this past weekend, he did a wine tasting event with one of the greatest film directors of all time, the man behind The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola. And Ron Onesti brought him in, and then they went into the city and they showed his documentary, the great Francis Ford Coppola. Congratulations, Ron Onesti. If anybody's going to do it, Ron Onesti will. And that was a pretty good event. I was invited to it. Unfortunately, I could not go do it. I was working. I had 3 shows that day. But congratulations, Ron Onesti. Francis Ford Coppola, 2 great Italian Americans. There you go. Very cool. All right. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions now. And one of them is interesting. People that are not in Chicago anymore. You lived in Chicago and you moved out of Chicago. Now, you guys don't have to answer today or whatever it is, but why did you leave Chicago? I'd like to know. If whoever's watching is not living in Chicago anymore. Now, sometimes it's family, sometimes it's a new job, but I'd like to find out why people left Chicago and moved to a different state, a different city. I'd like to see that. Gas explosion in Illinois, power lines, nobody got killed. That's a good thing. Yeah, Ryan, thank God for that. So I don't know how many of you people are watching. General, great seeing you Saturday. Thank you, my friend, you and Jan and Rob. Okay, so Kathy moved to California because she got married. So that's why she moved. So Kathy Eppolito was from Chicago, moved to Santa Barbara, California with her husband. She got married. So that's why Robert Provenzano says new job. But you're still living here. You're still in Illinois, Robert. Talking about people that left Chicago and moved to a different state. Mara watches the show, I think because of her job. I don't know why Emo might have moved to Florida. I don't know, but I'd like to see, and I'm not talking about sunbirds or whatever they call them when you're only there half the year. I'm talking about people who actually picked up, left the city of Chicago and moved to a different state and started a whole new life out there. That's what I'd like to find out. Too much crime. Okay, so some people left Chicago because of too much crime. Okay, hey, that's valid. I mean, if that, why do you leave? Everybody has their own right to do whatever they want. And and some people were leaving Chicago right at that time too, especially in 2020 during that whole fiasco with COVID or the flu or the riots and everything that was happening in this crazy. Because money, they moved to state government, garbage moved to Florida. Ryan, but you're still living here. I'm talking about people who left permanently. Permanently. I'm talking about people who left permanently Chicago. They might come back to visit, but their address is in a different state. Us, Tennessee, better taxes and politics. There you go, Francine. That's right. You used to live here in Chicago, and you moved to Tennessee. My friend Kathy Cundiff, she watches the show. Cundiff, she moved to Nashville. Kathy Splotro moved to Arizona. Walk lightly and carry a big step. Carry on the city of Chicago. There you go, Boyd. That's good. That should be on a postcard and a T-shirt too, buddy. So that's it. Okay, so most of the people leave for a certain reason. Now, here's another question that you're not supposed to talk about, but I think it's good to talk about. Gun, weapon, protection. How many of you people that are watching the show right now have a gun or would buy a gun just to protect your family at home? Good idea or bad idea? Now, when I was growing up as a kid, my father had rifles in the basement. I don't think he ever used it. I know they used to go hunting, if I remember vaguely. And Ronnie says he lived in Arizona, but he had to come back because there's no fishing. Yeah, and it's too damn hot. And you guys don't have to answer this. So Ryan says it's a bad idea. You're protecting your family in your home. God forbid somebody breaks into your home. Do you keep a gun? There you go, Jeanette. Mary Margaret, how you doing, hon? Okay, your hand is up. Do you keep a gun? No go out in the house unless locked up. Okay, it could be locked up. That's what I was saying, Marion. Locked up somewhere where you can get it. But remember also, folks, someone's breaking into your home in the middle of the night. Hopefully you keep it somewhere that you can grab it in time. Now, God forbid you don't want to use it. Excuse me. God forbid you don't want to use it. But I'm just talking about in general, that you can grab it. Keep it away from children, of course. Okay, Mary's got one in the safe. All right. Hopefully it's close to somebody breaking into your home and you're sleeping. What do? Baseball bat? Gun? I don't know. Then you got to worry if the guy or girl who's breaking into your house, she might be carrying a weapon too. Jeanette said it's a good idea. No gun, I would shoot somebody by mistake. Okay, well, there's Erica. You got a point there. You got to be careful with it. You got to know how to use a gun. But just this day and age, where before I used to think, remember when we were kids, it was just in the bad neighborhoods. Oh, we don't have to worry about. But 2020 riots, they're coming everywhere, folks. Nobody's safe. I don't care if you live in the richest neighborhoods in the world, or you live in the poorest or the middle, whatever the hell it is, you got to be careful. Now, Patrice has a gun, but it's not loaded. Okay, so good idea. Lock it up, not in a crazy person's household. Okay, well, it's a tough question. It really is. And, because everybody gave you great answers, and you better know the laws. Good one, Boyd. Good one. Good one. You better know the laws, too, if you're carrying a gun and if you were to shoot an intruder. There's laws. Sometimes, to be honest with you, and Boyd is right on this, sometimes the guy that broke in your house got to have better rights than you or in your house. So just throwing it out there, seeing if you carry a gun, should you? And we got a lot of people say they had a gun. Some say put it in a safe. Some say it's not loaded. Some people say do not carry a gun. But I think it's a good question to ask your family if you want to do it, just for protection in some way. Jeanette, you break into my house, I would shoot to kill. All right, so there you go. There's certain things that you should know. And I had my buddy, my lawyer, Roy McCampbell, on a couple of years ago. He was on the show. And I'd like to bring Roy on as a lawyer again and ask him a bunch of questions that I have, not only for guns, but stuff like that. And some of you guys might be able to answer some of the questions you have regarding certain laws and stuff that you have to watch out for these days. Now, back in the day, they broke in your house, you shot them, and that was it. Case closed. I'm going to tell you a story. My ex-wife's mother killed her husband, beat the hell out of her every day. And it was reported to police. And one day she couldn't take it no more, took a gun and killed him. Cops came. Now, this was 50 years ago, mind you. So laws have changed, and you got to protect. Johnny Faso, great seeing you and the family on Saturday, brother. Boom, boom in the house. I hope you're doing well, brother. There you go, Jeanette. I don't have to answer that question because you know already. There was a story in the news a couple of weeks ago about a guy who goes into fast food places, pulled out a gun and tries to rob. 45 people in the restaurant had guns, pulled them out and shot them. This took place in Texas. Go figure. Now, remember, thank you, Karen, for showing your story there. In Texas, it's legal to carry, and you can show it. They're in holsters. People carry them around like nothing. So crime sometimes in Texas is kind of low because everybody's carrying a gun. So someone comes in, boom, boom, boom. Carlo Joseph, you carry yours most of the time, and Carlo was a cop at one time, but he carries his most of the time. So it's interesting. In Texas, yeah, they all pulled out. Look, the guy tried to rob a restaurant with 45 people. Everybody in Texas has a gun. They all pulled him out and shot him. Case closed. But going back to what Boyd said, you got to know the law. You got to be careful, especially in the state of Illinois. I don't know how it is in the other states, but Illinois is tough, which is really weird because Illinois is really tough on certain things. But I think Illinois is the only, and don't quote me on this, I could be wrong. Illinois motorcycle, you don't need a helmet in Illinois to ride a motorcycle, but you do in other states. But it's so weird, some of the stuff. But just be careful if you own a gun and, to protect your family. I think it's important. But like I said, know the law. You're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. It's time for the weather, folks. That's right. Brought to you by the JRC Ace Hardware Stores. 85 degrees right now, folks. It feels like it's 94. I was out fishing this morning. I only caught 5 bluegill, but that's it. 85 degrees, it's 71% humidity. That's why it feels so hot. 5-mile-an-hour winds. Chance of rain, 20 to 30% chance of rain today at 3 o'clock. And that is your weather. Brought to you by the JRC Ace Hardware Stores. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. So, interesting stuff here on Ocean's Pit today. Wow. So we covered a lot of ground already, folks. Covered a lot of ground, a lot of good stuff to talk about. Okay, here we go, folks. The top 9 interesting facts about human behavior. The top 9 interesting about human behavior. This should be interesting. Let's see. Boyd says in Illinois, you can get off a murder rap easier than a DUI. Good point, Boyd. Good point. I meant to say 4 or 5 people, not 45. Oh, okay. That's all right, Karen. Still, that's your point. So it makes a lot of sense. Texas, Florida, there's a stand-down law. Your space is invaded. You can take the perp down. Law officers, thank you for doing it. Okay. So there you go. Different states. All right. Anyway, top 9 interesting facts about human behavior. Let's go to number 9. People with fewer friends are more loyal to the ones they have. Number 9. Number 8. Your mind can convince your body it's sick or healthy. The mind plays tricks on you. We kind of all know that. Number 7, being ignored causes the same reaction in the brain as physical pain. That I did not know. Number 6, people mirror body language of those they like. So remember when your grandfather might did something, or your father did something, or your mother did something, the body language sticks in the family, or some, that's kind of interesting too. Number 5, your subconscious mind makes decisions before your conscious mind realizes it. Number 4, the average human attention span is shorter than a goldfish's. Wow. So what does that tell you, folks? Wow. Number 3, people who talk to themselves are more intelligent. Wait till I tell my wife this, because I talk to myself every day, and I'm even answering myself. So now we're in trouble. But people who talk to themselves are more intelligent. Number 2, your brain rewrites memories every time you recall them. Pretty cool. And number 1, top interesting facts about human behavior. People remember how you make them feel more than what you say. Well, that's a good one. And that's true. It's not what you say, it's how you do it. Interesting. Breaking news. This happened last week. I just got word from the governor's team that he will be signing the squatters bill law into effect. It's a story we've been uncovering for months. Lawmakers passed the Senate Bill 1563 a couple of months ago. This bill would make it easier for police to remove squatters from someone's home, bypassing the months-long eviction process. I know a bunch of people that rented out their homes to people, and these people would not leave. So this could be one good thing that Fred Flintstone, our governor, does. Previous squatters were allowed to stay at property while owners addressed the matter in eviction court. It would take forever to get somebody out of the house. The squatter bill will tenants, making it easier for property owners. The law will go into effect January 1st. It won't start till January 2026, but it will happen. Officials did not say when the governor is expected to sign the bill into law, but it sure will happen. So now it's saying somebody by January of 2026. I heard horror stories of people I know that had properties and people will not move. Michelle, 100% true stuff. I'm a genius, right, Michelle? We talk to ourselves. We're geniuses. David, how are you doing today, pal? Chiropractor. You got to watch out with chiropractors. You know, there's some that are good. Some you got to watch out. Chiropractor tears woman's artery while cracking her neck. A Las Vegas mom ended up in this ICU and was bedridden for weeks after chiropractor's injury. You got to be careful, man. You know, I get scared sometimes when they got to crack my neck. I feel something's going to happen. But there's some good ones out there. You got to be careful, or sometimes they're good, but they might maybe not paying attention and they do it too fast or whatever it is. This is scary. This is scary. Very bad. Very bad. A 60-year-old arrested for allegedly, look at this. Now this, and you know what I think here? Is the mom an idiot or the son an idiot? I think they're both an idiot. Or who's an asshole is the last thing that we had last Tuesday. Me and Carol had who's an asshole. This is me and Carol had who's an asshole. I think this is it. 60-year-old arrested for allegedly making a bomb threat on a plane. And when they quote and ask the mom, she claims it was just a real crude joke. You're an asshole, mom, and so is your kid. Case closed. A teenager on board Spirit Airlines flight was arrested after making a comment, I have a bomb. A kid, a 16-year-old. And the mother says, oh, it was just a crude joke. You're teach your kids. Stupid. Complete stupid. Here's something else I didn't realize. For people who have kids, if you give your child Tylenol between the ages of 12 and 18 months, you're 20 times more likely to have a child with autism. William Parker, PhD, based on the work of Dr. Stephen Schultz. So, if you have anybody who has kids out there under the age of 12 to 18 months, you're 20 times more likely to have a child with autism if you give them Tylenol. Tylenol, folks, not for babies. Check with your doctor. Check on stuff before you give medicine to your kid's child. Even when you're adults, you got to check some of this stuff. Hotels. You guys go out and you love to travel. You like to stay to hotels. What's a better hotel? What's the worst hotel? The top 50 best hotels in the United States. I'm just going to say the top 10 here. The Rosewood Mansion in Texas. The Montage Palmetto Bluff in South Carolina comes in at number 9. The Little Nell, number 8 in Colorado. The Beverly Hills Hotel comes in at number 7 in California. The Amaguri in Utah comes in at number 6. The Breakers Hotel in Florida comes in at number 5. The Plaza Hotel in New York comes in at number 4. The Waldorf Astoria in Illinois comes in at number 3. Four Seasons Hotel in California comes in at number 2. And the number 1 hotel to stay in the United States is the Ritz-Carlton in Florida. Good to know if you're traveling and you want to stay on some of these 5-star hotels. Interesting stuff. How about my good buddy Jack Vena Landscaping? Because landscaping is always important in your home. And if you some of you already probably have some already, but maybe you might consider Jack Vena for next year if you're not happy with your service. They offer monthly maintenance programs, bush trimming, spring bread, fall cleanup, bed mulching, fertilizing, weed control. They offer plant design service, installation, servicing the whole north area, the northern section of Illinois for 50 years. Call Tommy at 847-432-5266. Tell him Tony O sent you. And don't forget our good buddies from Armando Supermarkets. Buy local, shop local, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Go in and talk to Danny Mazzi and say, hey, Danny, Ocean's Pit sent me. Great grocery store in Elgin, Illinois. All right, so it's a great Monday, and I really appreciate you guys talking and giving me all your answers and your responses. We got some more stuff here. All right. Waffle House waitress tipped a lottery ticket. So a customer at the Waffle House, instead of leaving a cash tip, left her a lottery ticket. So the waitress checks the lottery ticket and wins $10 million. And now the customer is suing her. She's an unluckiest woman ever. The waitress, Tanada Dickerson, at the Waffle House was tipped a lottery ticket. Tanada ended up winning $10 million from the ticket. Her fellow co-workers sued her, claiming she said she would split the winnings. So, excuse me, I said it wrong. It's not the guy who gave her the lottery ticket. Whole co-workers, because when everybody all laughed at her when she got a lottery ticket as a tip, all her employees go, ah, ha, ha, ha. And she goes, listen, if I win something, I'll split it with you. Well, she won $10 million, and now the co-workers are suing her. Her fellow workers sued her, claiming she said she would split the winnings. Luckily, the court ruled against this. Then the customer who tipped the ticket claimed she'd buy him a truck. You got to be careful with that stuff, folks. Interesting. What do you do now? You have to quit that job because you can't talk to your employees after they're all going to sue you. Is that crazy? Here's another woman who's an asshole. This is even worse than this woman needs a worse name than an asshole. I could come up with one, but it doesn't start with the letter A. A woman arrested after police say she left an infant, a baby, and a dog in her car to go play slots at Bally's Casino. A woman from Massachusetts facing charges. She left a 15-month-old baby and a dog inside an unlocked car to go play Bally's Slots Casino. What's wrong with these people? She's been in the car for 30 minutes. The video showed that the baby was in there by herself, 15-month-old kid and a dog, for 30 minutes left in the car alone while this piece of garbage is out gambling. Degenerate is the nice word to call her. CNN. One lucky Massachusetts man bought 2 winning lottery tickets at 2 different stores, and he won $2 million payday. Why can't we get that? I mean, we only won $400,000. Well, luckily, yeah. This Massachusetts man became a millionaire twice in one night, thanks to lucky lottery mistake. Stories, for the underdog, which is good. All right, folks. Well, it's come to the end of the hour, and we're having so much fun here with you guys here on Monday, the 28th of July, Ocean's Pit. And busy week. Like I said, tomorrow, come celebrate Frankie Setta's birthday. He's turning 40 years old. We'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse tomorrow with Frankie Setta, yours truly, and Double T, Tony Toto. And then Wednesday will be by Chris Rosario, Chris Picaro at Rosario's in Roselle with Double T. That's a 7:30 hit. Thursday, Ocean's Rat Pack at Darien Concert in the Park. Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse. Saturday, Ocean's Rat Pack will be up north in McHenry, Illinois at the Vixen Theater. And Sunday, my rock band Moe's Dream Police, tribute to Cheap Trick, live at Tribute Island in Kenosha. What else we got coming up? August 7th will be at the Taste of Elmwood Park, kicking it off with Ocean's Rat Pack and a big band behind us. It's going to be great. And then we'll be in Warren, Ohio, road trip on August 9th and 10th. On the 15th, Ron Onesti's Taylor Street Italian Fest, main stage, 8 to 10 o'clock, Friday, August 15th. And returning to Mars, August 23rd, Lake Como. August 29th will be at the Taste of Melrose Park. Frank Sinatra, Bill Saratella, yours truly as Dean, and Wendy Thompson as Marilyn Monroe, followed by Tony Ocean and the Retro Band. It's going to be a whole party fun night on the 29th. On the 31st, we'll be at Septemberfest, Schaumburg. And, of course, the 30th of August will be at the Thirsty Parrot, our last performance in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. So that'll be a lot of fun. We got birthdays for Monday, July 28th. Joe, and your lovely wife, Friday at Chicago Prime. Happy birthday. Let's see here. Margot Martin, the special assistant to the director of course, the Trump Organization. Happy birthday, Margot. Irene Mojica, radio personality and singer from Chicago. Roger Taylor of the band Queen turns 80 years old. Mick Jagger, Sir Mick, turns 82 years old. Helen Mirren, 80 years old. Sandra Bullock turns 60 years old. Jason Statham, 57 years old. The father of Michael Jackson, the late Joe Jackson. Kevin Spacey, actor, celebrating a birthday, 65 years old. And one of our listeners, Richard Hamlin, wherever you birthday, Richard, celebrating a birthday, my friend. Guys, it's come to the end of the hour. Tomorrow we'll be back Tuesday with Twisted Tuesday with Carol Brandolino. And, of course, let's thank our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Take advantage of the auto key program at all their stores. They program CarCut keys up to 50% less to the dealership. Visit the Helpful Hub to speak to a certified team member. And U-Haul Rentals made easy. They have a large fleet of trucks, best prices in town. U-Haul desks, U-Haul.com. Choose one of your ACE stores at your location and make a reservation. They're here for all your moving needs, personal business, small loads. They have you covered. Download the Ace Rewards app. Easy way to keep track of free points, coupons, and special offers. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Thank you, our friends from Ace Hardware. Guys, buy local, shop local, support local. Be kind to one another. It's a crazy world. This show or any other show, just because you're offended doesn't make you right. Always remember that. But be kind to people out there. It's a tough world. Let's all get by and just be happy that we wake up every morning. Ringo Starr says, peace and love, and my love to every single one of you. God bless you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a great day. Nick Hodges, take us out.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Bye-bye, everybody. Peace. Love you all. God bless.